Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, fake bills were discovered at a handful of Hazard restaurants recently. Now police want to know who is using them. WYMT's Will Puckett talked to a local manager and server who says this means more than just breaking the law.
Hazard police say recently people in and around Hazard are trying to pass off fake $150 bills inside Big Blue Smokehouse, where they do lots of business in parts of the day where they accept high volume. This can happen. But one of their waiters tells WYMT that while this is illegal, people don't understand the repercussions that it has, that waiters who accept these bills without knowing it have to pay that money back out of their own pocket.
Like I said, you give me a fake $100 bill or something, I have to pay it out of my own pocket now. So you've now messed up my day, you've messed up my bills. People just don't care. I think it's selfish people who just don't care.
Now, Hazard police want to remind everyone to check the bills before they accept them to make sure they are not counterfeit. Anyone with information as to who might be spreading these bills is asked to call their department. In Hazard, Will Puckett, WYMT Mountain News.
And if you do have any information, you can remain anonymous through tip 411 or by calling 606-436-2222.
Another gloomy day here in the mountains, but a lot of us didn't get in on those rain shades as most of that cloud cover making it feel a little gloomy outside. You can see that here on satellite and radar. You can see the clouds really increasing throughout the day. We saw some showers, light showers earlier this morning, drying out a little bit as we head into those afternoon hours. So as we scan the skies now, we're seeing just a few light showers in some areas showing down into Harlan County and maybe over there into West Virginia, Domingo, Logan County. But other than that, most of us are dry. Temperatures, they're still pretty warm as well, into those low 60s into mid 60s, some spots to those upper 60s, even maybe a 70 down there into Monticello. Now we just got this, a flood watch has been issued. Now this really goes into effect Wednesday night into your Thursday as heavy rain is expected across the mountains, anywhere from maybe 1, 2 to possibly even 3 inches. We'll have more on that in just a second. So heavy rain is going to be moving into the forecast really starting tonight and lasting throughout your day on Thursday. Warmer temperatures though continue. A little bit of good news before we cool off again. We'll break down those details coming up in just a little bit.
All right, Paige, thank you. In just a few hours now, President Donald Trump will give the State of the Union address in front of a joint session of Congress and the American people. The White House says his message will be one of unity. CBS's Kenneth Craig is on Capitol Hill, where preparations are underway for the big speech.
The President of the United States.
The stage is set here on Capitol Hill for President Trump's State of the Union address. The president is expected to hit several major themes, including border security.
He is as committed today as he's ever been to making sure we get real border security. That includes a wall, and he'll make that case tonight.
But the speech comes at a time when there's uncertainty in Washington over whether the government will avoid another partial shutdown. The president says he's not interested in any budget deal from the bipartisan conference committee if it does not include wall money.
Stay out of it. Let the Senate and House work their way.
Senate Republicans have also pulled away from the president recently, speaking out against his suggestion he'll declare a national emergency to get money for the wall.
The national emergencies that have been issued in the past have not been contentious. I'm pretty sure that this one would be.
President Trump is looking to strike a chord of unity in his speech, but it comes after he sharpened attacks on House Speaker Nancy Pelosi in a Sunday interview with CBS Face the Nation.
I think Nancy Pelosi is doing a terrible disservice to the people of our country.
Tonight, Speaker Pelosi will be seated behind the president next to Vice President Mike Pence. Rising Democratic Party star Stacey Abrams, who lost her bid to become Georgia's governor, will deliver the official Democratic response to the address. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
2 other responses are expected after the State of the Union. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders will give a response. California Attorney General and former Congressman Xavier Becerra will give a Spanish language response. Our Washington Bureau will have a preview of the State of the Union address coming up on Mountain News at 5:30. And live CBS News coverage begins tonight at 9 here on WYMT. Well, President Trump certainly wants to grab the country's attention with tonight's State of the Union address, but he faces a new distraction. The U.S. Attorney's Office in New York City issued a subpoena yesterday seeking documents from the president's inaugural committee. A source tells CBS News investigators are seeking information related to donors and what benefits were offered to them in return. They are specifically looking for any evidence of illegal donations made by foreigners and whether they sought to gain influence over the administration. Federal law prohibits foreign contributions to federal campaigns, political action committees, and inaugural funds.
This doesn't have anything to do with the White House, and I think the biggest focus and the thing that most Americans care about has nothing to do with the inaugural, and it has everything to do with what the path forward looks like.
A spokesman for the committee told CBS News, quote, "While we are still reviewing the subpoena, it is our intention to cooperate with the inquiry." Right now, no one has been charged for their work with the committee. This subpoena is an initial step in the investigation. Virginia State Police are in mourning after one of their troopers was killed in a drug raid last night. Authorities say Trooper Lucas Dow was assisting with a search warrant at a home in Cumberland County when someone inside the home opened fire. Dow was shot and taken to a hospital where he later died from his injuries. Police returned fire, killing the suspect. No one else was hurt. Dow joined the Virginia State Police in 2014. Today is another difficult day for the family of a missing Madison County, Kentucky woman. Savannah Spurlock would be celebrating her 23rd birthday with her family today, but that is not happening as the woman remains missing. WYMT's Phil Pendleton spoke with Spurlock's mother as the mystery continues as to what happened to her.
For many years, today, February 5th, was a great day for the Spurlock family. 23 years ago today, Ellen Spurlock had a daughter, Savannah. And many years after that, today, her birthday, always a day worth celebrating. But no one is celebrating today.
Being that it's her birthday, I'm trying to focus on happy memories of her.
But that is not easy for Ellen Spurlock now that it's been more than a month since her daughter disappeared. Today is Savannah Spurlock's 23rd birthday. We talked to her mother as she thumbed through some memory books and photo albums of Savannah and her sister. There's photos of happy times, moments in time captured in snapshots, times when things seem simpler and more innocent, and where what she's been going through now would be so foreign.
I urge anybody or everybody to hold close and tight to your loved ones, because, you know, I never thought I'd be in this position. You know, nobody thinks that it could happen to anybody.
I spoke with Richmond Police today. They tell me there's really nothing new that they can release. Of course, they've had some extensive searches of various properties in Garrett County, but apparently that has not turned up anything substantial. In Madison County, Phil Pendleton, now back to you.
Police say they are certain Savannah Spurlock was in Garrett County. They have interviewed the men she was seen with, but no one has been charged. An Arizona nurse who is charged with sexually assaulting an incapacitated woman was back in court today for his arraignment. Wearing an orange prison jumpsuit, Nathan Sutherland pleaded not guilty to charges that he raped a 29-year-old patient in his care at Hacienda Healthcare in Phoenix. Police arrested the 36-year-old licensed practical nurse after his DNA matched a blood sample from the victim's newborn son.
My understanding is that he gave the DNA sample after he found that there was a court order which compelled him to give that. He did not volunteer to give a DNA sample.
In a statement, Hacienda Healthcare officials said Sutherland went through an extensive background check when he was hired and added they are troubled beyond words to think that a licensed practical nurse could be capable of seriously harming a patient. Sutherland remains in jail on a $500,000 bond. Pope Francis wrapped up his landmark trip to the United Arab Emirates with Mass in the birthplace of Islam. Tens of thousands lined the streets of Abu Dhabi to cheer Pope Francis on the final day of his visit to the Arabian Peninsula. An estimated 180,000 people came to watch the 82-year-old pontiff deliver his first papal Mass in the United Arab Emirates. The Pope's message of peace went out to an audience of mostly Catholics living in the region, but Thousands of Muslims also showed up.
How to describe it was so emotional. First time to see a Pope here.
For many Catholics, it was the first time they shared their faith in a nation known for restricting religious freedom. Let's head over to Wall Street now on this Tuesday afternoon. The Dow closes up today more than 172 points. Straight ahead on First at 4, actor Liam Neeson is facing backlash on social media after some racial remarks. Hear how he is responding to the criticism.
And rain chances will increase over the next couple of days, and so will those temperatures. We'll break down that full forecast in just a few minutes.